So it's a little bit dark in here. Let me just turn the light on. 1 second. That's a bit better, isn't it? That's a bit better. So let me get this up on the big screen. Let's see who pops in to say hello. Let's open this up. So how is everyone tonight? How is everyone keeping? I hope your gardens are going well. How's your winter garden prep going? Are you getting any seeds in yet? Are you getting anything growing yet? Let's have a little chat and see what's going on with everybody. Let me put this on silent as well. There we go. And that's down on silent now. We shouldn't have any more interruptions. Laura, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Gardens soaking wet. Laura, whereabouts in the country are you? Just get my glasses. Oh, there we go. Southport. Okay, so you're over that side, right? Because we're still covered in snow and ice at the moment. We had a good snow a couple of days ago, and the kids managed to get out and go sledging for a bit. I didn't get out with them, unfortunately, because by the time the weekends rolled around, it's all turned to sludge. So at the moment, the garden's still got ice. It's covered in ice, and everywhere the grass is, anywhere there's soil or anything like that, it's just mush. It's really horrible at the moment. But I want to get some more seeds planted soon. Have you got any seeds sowed yet? Saw your video. It looked nice with heavy frost but lots of rain. Okay, so we've had a I mean, it was supposed to rain today, but it's not rained so far. So it's everything. As soon as the ice, as soon as the snow starts melting a little bit, it just turns to ice and everything just freezes over, and then everything just gets really slippy. Henrik, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Dean, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. You're 4 minutes late, man. Where have you been? Mark Cook, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. We've got 15 people. Nice one. So if anyone hasn't hit that like for me, please hit that like. Let's get that like count up a little bit. Ahmed, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thanks very much. You just got the notification. But I've got this sniggly little cough coming on. It's been on for a couple of days now. But I'm not feeling unwell. But just a little tickly little cough. So I want to ask you when to start pruning fruit trees. Now's a good time. Now's a good time to prune your fruit trees. So anything that isn't a stone fruit, like a plum or a cherry or a peach or things like that, with the fruits that have the stone in the middle, now's a good time to prune them. So if you've got apples, pears, things like that, it's brilliant to prune them now, and that'll stimulate growth in the going forward, and then give them a pruning in midsummer, late summer, just to give them a little tidy up, but nothing serious at that point. Now's the time to get your any major pruning that you want to do. Now's the time to do it. Excuse me, I've just got it's like I've got a frog in my throat at the moment. Tony, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Everyone's telling you to prune them now. There you go. Henrik's got notification issues. I'm glad at least they sent them out, even if they sent them out late. So that's a good thing. How are you guys doing? Hope you're keeping well. Henrik, how's your project coming along over in Egypt? So, so we well, Well, we do not know the time you actually get here. Could be any time between. Dean, I've never been that late, man. I've never been that late, man. Let's grow home. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. 8:13 is the latest. I've never been on that late, man. Have I? I know I'm bad for timekeeping, but that I think that'll be one of the worst if I've done that. I saw your picture of your ginger. That's a brilliant result. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Did I ever buy a watch? I've got a clock in front of me. I've got a clock right in front of me on the wall. So right where I'm sat, right on that wall in front of me, it's probably yeah, it's right there. It's a big thing on the wall that tells me. I got an invitation email from Jeff Lawton. Jeff Lawson or Jeff Lawton? Um, because and what's that for? Does snow or frost kill garlic shoots? Snow and cold will make the garlic look like it's drooping over. They'll look a little bit weak, but don't worry about it. Garlic's really hard. It'll just bounce back as soon as the weather starts improving. It'll bounce back and get straight back up. So don't worry about it at all. CW, thank you very much for coming in. I made a joke earlier about ginger. My dad grew one a few years back. Oh, cheeky, 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 cheeky. I was scared of the snow yesterday. Don't be scared of the snow. Not with garlic. Not with overwintering onions. They're normally fine with them. Three wheels and a block. Erwin, how are you keeping, man? Long time no see. Hope you're keeping well. We had snow, and the carrots are still growing. The carrots should be still growing in that snow. Don't worry about it. They'll be okay. Um, so you've got Jeff Lawton's online courses. Have you started? Are you doing the PDC with him, or are you just doing the introduction? Because I've done the introduction on his website before. Because he's got quite a good range of free courses on there as well. So if anyone is interested, Jeff Lawton's, I think it's Permaculture Academy or permaculture.org or something like that. But he's got quite a few good free courses if anyone's interested in that. Well, I didn't know carrots grew year round. Carrots, I mean, there's different varieties of carrots. So if you were going to start carrots now, you start you can start planting carrots now, and they'll start producing later on in the season. You can also grow things like forcing carrots that'll produce a lot earlier, but they won't be as big as the main crop carrots. And you can use those early carrots as well and sow them late season and harvest through the winter. As long as you do successional sowing with your planting, carrots are a good one to have all year round. Fist bump when you get your 20k, pal, any day now. I think at the rate I'm going at the moment, Tony, I think I'm about 2 weeks away. So yeah, I think I'm about 2 weeks away, but hopefully, yeah, if I can get there a little bit earlier, then we'll get some giveaways up here as well. The mail is extremely long. See, do you know when they send me emails like those invitation ones? I don't generally read them. I just click yes, I agree. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but yeah. Uh, Michael, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. This is such a refreshing presentation. I'll listen intently, my friend. Thanks, Michael. So we'll just generally I'll give it for those people who are new here. Tonight there's no real set pattern. I mean, every now and then we'll bring on a guest interview, and I'm trying to line up a very special guest. Everyone knows him, and once I secure some time with him, then I'm looking forward to that one especially, because yeah, I am looking forward to that one. But there's no set pattern to this, so we just have a general chit chat, a little bit of fun, a little bit of jokes, and I'm sure the kids will come in and invade us at some point. Yeah. So Leslie's here. What else am I? Who else am I? UK Hamos. Uh, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. So CW's all ears. So we'll get a nice giveaway going as soon as we hit that 20k. I've got a fig tree and it's big, coming to 3 meters and a half. It does crop. However, I've never pruned it in 8 years, and I can't reach the fruit at the top, so want to heavily prune it. So if you want to heavily prune it, then just now's the time to do it. I mean, with most trees, never one of the rules of thumb is to never take more than a third of the tree off in any one year. So if you wanted to reduce something that's 3 meters tall down to about 2 meters, you could go ahead and do that sort of thing. And when you're pruning, make sure you're taking out full limbs. So prune a limb back to a growth point rather than prune it halfway so it sends out lots of water shoots and stuff like that. But I mean, I've got a massive fig tree. It's quite big. It's never produced fruit. So what I did with it a couple of years ago, I started pruning it back, and last year I've pruned it down to quite small, so it's sending out lots of side shoots. And I'm gonna try and grow it like a bush rather than a tree, and see if that does anything. So we'll join. Well, I'll join you on what you lose is time and good to learn all you use it. When would be a good time to plant hemp wild in the UK? I don't know. I've never grown hemp before. I'm guessing early spring, as with most seeds, will do okay. But I've never grown hemp before, so I don't know. Unless someone else can answer his question, then help him out. What else can I sow early other than carrots? Laura, I don't know if I did a video early this month on seeds that you can plant in January. I mean, lots of things, like if you haven't got your garlic in, garlic's a good one to get in now. Over onions is a great time to plant now. So any type of onions that you're growing from seed is a good one to grow to start now. What else? Where have we gone? So onions. Towards the end of this month, beginning of next month, I'm going to start planting my tomatoes. If you're growing chilies are one that you really need to start this month, because I think if you start chilies in January, February, then you've got a good chance of getting a good harvest on them and a decent time, instead of them getting to the end of the season and you're not getting ripe chilies. So that's another one that I'd plant now. But do go and check that video out if you haven't seen it, and hopefully that'll give you some tips. Because broad beans is another one, a good one. All types of broad beans will go in now. That'll be fine, and you don't need any heat for that. So mine are growing in an unheated greenhouse. Aubergines are another good one. I planted mine at the start of this month. What else have I got? Yeah, there's a few I've listed on that video. So, and the way I've tried to do it is I've split it into really hardy ones that are no problem at all. Everyone can have a go at. Then some that need a little bit more care, and then some that need a lot of care. Rosie's Allotment Adventures, thank you very much for coming in. Hugh Jazz, Chris Knight, guys, thank you all for coming in. You're very welcome here. It's the first time I'm seeing some names. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoy yourselves. I mean, I was explaining earlier, for those that have never been here before, tonight doesn't take any sort of specific format. It's just a free-for-all, unless we get a guest on. So Crafts, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Glad to see you here. Am I on some fruit trees from B&M? Leslie, have B&M got them in yet? Because I'm waiting for the supermarkets, because I want some more. What I'm planning on doing with some trees this year is I'm going to do you know, on the edge of my beds, I'm thinking of just putting lots of trees in and growing them espalier, but growing them hop over espalier. So just growing them as two branches across the ground, really low to the ground. So I want a few pears and a few more apples to do that with. Have you grown turmeric? Any tips? Rosie, Rose, sorry, I'm calling you Rosie, not Rose, and it's Rose. I do apologise. I have grown turmeric, and I do grow turmeric. Now is a good time to actually get it started. turmeric, ginger is a brilliant time to get started now. So if you get, I've done a couple of videos on growing turmeric and ginger. The way I tend to do it is take a piece of turmeric, uh, mist it, soak it overnight, and then put it in a like a plastic tub, a sealed plastic tub, and put that somewhere warm, and wait for that to send shoots off. Once it sent shoots off, then I'll transplant it to soil. But do go have a look at those videos that I've put out. They might explain it a little bit better than I'm doing now. Nick's allotment diary. Nick, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. Um, what is good seeds for the garden in the UK now after the snow settles? UK Hamos, I've done a video called "What to Sow in January." So if you want to have a look at that, that'll give you a good explanation. I've gone through some of the seeds already, but that'll give you a good explanation. Nick's also done a video on planting seeds in January. That's very good as well. Pam, thank you very much for coming in. I'm wondering if you or anyone who is here at the moment might have any tips regarding starting roses from seeds. I've never heard of growing roses from seeds. I know some of the professionals do it, but I've never tried it, so I don't know. Some of the others might be able to give you some tips, but roses are not one. It's not one of my specialities. Exploring nature together. Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. If anyone hasn't hit that like button for me, please hit that like. Let's get that like count up a little bit. We've got 42 in the house. That's awesome. Gonna add that to my highlight reel. um, I did see many movies that tell not to plant direct after putting food scraps. However, I always do as compost. See, Hendrik, I've heard of people saying don't do it, and I do the same thing with manure, food scraps, anything that's not decomposed. So the way I do it is just put them. So whenever I'm planting in pots, it's always a layer of wood chips, and then I use fillers, what I call fillers, things like food scraps. And it'll just for a number of reasons. One is it'll save you loads of compost because it'll take up a huge amount of volume. Another is that'll break down, and it'll take probably 6 months for it to break down into nice soil. And in 6 months, it's slowly releasing food all the way through it as it's breaking down. And when the roots of the plants get down to that level, they're loving it. They've got a ready-made, feed source. So I always add food scraps to buckets like that. Forgot to say it's Chris AC. Okay, there we go. I thought I recognised the flower, but that's a nice. Oh, you've changed your channel name. That's quite nice. That's a really nice channel name. Um, it's okay. I'm actually Karen, and my daughter is. So, just to confuse me even more than I'm already confused. um, James B found your channel fairly recently. Keep up the good content. James, thank you very much for that lovely compliment, and you're very welcome to join us for this tonight's live chat. Home bargains of fresh selections of bulbs, dahlia, tubers, seed spuds, etc. 99p and £1.50. Got a lot. See, Wilco's at the moment. Normally, where I get my potatoes from is Wilco's, so they normally have a 2.5 kilo bag for about £3, and I normally just buy a couple of bags of those. And every time I go online for Wilco's, it's always sold out. So I'm getting a bit worried at the moment. Bet you still end up calling your rose in a few. um, I watched your ginger video the other day. Okay, so there's another one I did from probably about a year and a half ago, and that's on turmeric as well. So but that was later on in the season. There's one where I did multiple ginger plants from one tuber, and that's a good one. That's a technique that I do at this time of year, and the other technique is if you're going to plant sort of when it's a little bit warmer, then I try the other technique. So the trees were £6 or two for £10. Leslie, I'm off to B&M tomorrow. I'm gonna go and have a look at that. I think that classes as essential shopping. What do you guys think? Together withdrawal symptoms, your chest must be. Uh, what's going there? Exploring together withdrawal symptoms, your chest must be pounding. Mario Jones, sorry. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Um, so no, Steve's not here tonight, so no one's catching me up on anything to do with Norfolk. No problem there. Dean, King of Practical Jokes, got me proper bad last week. He got me proper good last week. So he's even made up a nice little clip of what he's actually got me saying. And yeah, absolutely hilarious. And it even caused some controversies. Yeah, some people didn't like the fact that I was, yeah. Oh man. Uh, so let's have a look. Where's Norfolk when you need him? Exactly. You were you here? Did you see what he did to me? um, so internet's so bad here last week. Enrique, you getting a decent signal tonight though? I always wanted blueberries in the garden. Is it possible to grow blueberries in the UK? Ahmed, blueberries in the UK is perfectly fine. The best thing to do with it is to grow them in containers. If you can get a nice big container, probably about a 50, 60 litre container, and put in, they want ericaceous compost, so they want acidic compost. So fill it with ericaceous compost, mulch it with pine needles, coffee grounds, stuff like that. Plant your blueberries inside. You'll need at least two varieties. It's a good one to put in three varieties because they need to cross pollinate. So that's a good one to do. But blueberries are absolutely spot on in this country. They're very hardy plants. My January video is really took off 26,000 views. I'm super Nick. It was a really good video. I think you did a brilliant job in that video. You did it a good timing, and I'm really happy that that's doing well for you. I'm really happy that that's doing well for you, and I hope that continues because you deserve it, man. You absolutely deserve it. Not a bad thing, Karen. It's one of the reasons I don't have kids in mine often, as they delete a load of videos. And see, Tony, I try and limit the kids, but you know what happens at my place? They'll just rock up. They'll just rock up and take over. It's like, yeah. And at the moment, because I'm only getting into the garden on weekends, they've got to be out there with me as well. Um, Julia, thank you very much for coming in. I don't think I said hello to you earlier, but I'm glad you're here. Rescue Ready Roadside, thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well, both of you. So, what's funny about whose name? Tony. I think I'm way behind in the chat and I'm missing something. If I'm missing something, then fill me in, guys. Uh, loving the channel. Thanks for all your advice. Icebank, you're very welcome. I'm glad you like it. You're very welcome to this live chat as well. Henrik, there's an Aussie grower who always uses food scraps in trenches and plants on top. Frank Caldwell. Frank, how are you doing, mate? See, trench composting has been around for centuries. It's a really good way of improving soil. I think it's fantastic. So there you go, Michael. Rose's Karen, rather, has just given you some tips on planting roses. Yeah, self-sufficient means an absolutely awesome channel. Brilliant guy, full of energy, absolutely full of energy. Love it. Rodney Stacey, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I think they need acidic soil. Personally, prefer blackcurrants. See, I've got a couple of old blackcurrant plants that were here from when from the guy who owned this house before me. and we don't really use blackcurrant, so I keep them because I mean the bees like the pot of flowers, and the birds like to eat them. And if my chickens get out and they see the blackcurrants on the bush, they'll just gobble them up. But yeah, we've got a couple of blackcurrants. If anyone wants them, they can come and take them. UK Scrapper Paul, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Just started some seeds. Can't wait for this growing season. Blessings to you and the family. Thank you very much. What seeds have you just started? Doesn't food scraps attract the rats? Pam, depends on. Do you know the way I do it with containers, right? So I'll put the food scraps close to the bottom of the container and then pile it with soil. I mean, that's one way that I compost meat as well. So what I did last week was I went to the butchers, and they're paying to get rid of lots of meat scraps, so lots of fat and lots of skin and those kind of things. So I said, give me a carry bag full of that. So I brought a carry bag full of that and just filled a couple of they're about 10-15 litre plant pots, an inch of soil at the bottom, then loads of that, and then about 3 or 4 inches of soil at the top. And I'm just going to let that decompose, and then in springtime, in about 3-4 months, I'm going to have a nice bucket of fertilizer that I can use for pretty much all my plants. Um, Welcome everyone to Morocco. It's very nice springtime. We're enjoying all fields of green grass everywhere. Uh, that's amazing. What kind of fruit have you got over there? So Frank Mark has a great channel. I'll be collabing with him this year. We've sorted it all out already. See, Tony, you big boys can do that sort of thing. Uh, um, yeah, that would be a brilliant collab though. But you and Mark, because he's just full of beans. He is absolutely brilliant. And seeing you together, that'll be all right. That'll be really good. I think that'll be one to look forward to. Um, so project here is still my salary comes and then I can build a shredder. Parts are available. Okay, so you're gonna build a shredder yourself. That's gonna be interesting. Have you used ground coffee beans in with your compost for your seedlings? Seems to be helping with the drainage. Happy Acres, I've not used ground coffee. I mean, we don't drink coffee, and for me to get ground coffee, I'd have to go to go somewhere and physically pick it up. And I try to avoid that sort of thing. If I can get stuff delivered here, then fair enough. Like with my wood chips, I get a lot of wood chips dropped off here, but I don't really use coffee. I mean, I know a lot of people have success with it, but it's something that I want to get to the bottom of actually, because caffeine is something that's a growth inhibitor. Plants produce caffeine for its allelopathic qualities, so to fend off other plants. So it should, in theory, stop plants from growing. But there's got to be something in there to something in the coffee or something in the tea bags or whatever it is to overpower that caffeine effect and give it a boost, because I've heard of so many people from benefiting from using coffee. So I'm looking into that at the moment. If anyone has any advice on that, then that's something that I want to get to the bottom of, because the science says one thing, but what happens is something else. So I want to figure that out. Um, Thinking of getting some flower seeds from a companion planting ideas. So Lynn, marigolds, all types of marigolds are always good. I mean, there's some really good marigolds. Um, you can get the pot varieties. The calendulas are really good. We got some really big growing African marigolds last year, and I didn't realize how big they got. I thought they'd just be like the normal pot marigolds. So I put them in pots with my tomatoes, and these things grew to about 2.5, 3 foot high. Absolutely huge, beautiful flowers on them as well. But they would have been much better for me to plant them in the ground. So do watch out for things like that. But calendulas and pot marigolds, they're really good for pots, really good for companion planting. Nasturtiums, they're really good for deterring black fly. I mean, I use a lot of coriander for my companion plants. Coriander. I use a lot of fenugreek, um, garlic, and onions mixed in with pretty much everything. So yeah, there's a few options there. Um, B&M are open as essential as the. Let's see. Uh, gonna ha- gonna have to gan myself in B&M. Gonna have to gan yourself. Um, or is that supposed to say guard yourself? Won't be for a few months into the growing season, mate. But will come providing no issues either side. That'll be a good one to see. Two giants of the YouTube gardening community do it, going at it together. Fantastic, I think. Um, so I'm nearly at 4K hours views now, so I might be able to monetize my channel soon. So look, YouTubers don't earn a massive amount through advertising revenue. So if we can help Nick get to his 8,000 watch hours, then if you want to go and play a video from one of his playlists, if we can help him get to his 8,000 watch hours, then let's get him some seed money. Um, Hugh, this Dean lad, he's proper naughty. He's proper naughty. Proper caught me out last time. I just heard that coffee grounds may be a danger to pets. Ah, okay. I didn't realise that there might have been. I didn't know about that. It's new variety called Black Magic. It's too early starting Black Magic. I must have missed a comment there. It's not. Tim, how are you doing, mate? I hope you're keeping well. Good to see you here. Gary's Durham allotment, gone potty gardening. How are you guys all doing? Hope you're all keeping well. Um, Gary's Durham allotment, is that GL or is that GL? Um, because if it is, how are you keeping, man? Long time no see. Um, I was doing a bit of channel tidying the other day, so that's what might have been caused it. But don't worry, it'll come back. Let me go back to your name in a minute. Uh, I would okay, they're the rose hips. Has anyone else heard of compost shortages? Laura, last year there were loads of compost shortages. I don't know about this year. I mean, we picked up a couple of multi-purpose from B&Q. I think it was in early December. So just in case. Yeah. So we just got a couple of bags just in case. Some of the big, I think they're 120 litre bags. But the price of compost has gone up. The price has really gone up of compost, I think, um, and a lot of gardening stuff. People seem to be cashing in at the moment. Uh, da, 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 da. I've seen someone sporting a name I recognise. Gary, who you recognising? Uh, let's see who else is popping in. Home allotment veggie beds. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Um, Ice's name. Ice's name. Ah, okay. What's the secret there? Um, I know it's been about 4 years to get. See, Nick. It's long overdue. Absolutely, very long overdue. Uh, we all just came up from Little Farmer's Farm to our live chat. Ah, okay. Okay. Oh, is that did it just all end there and you all popped over here? Oh, nice one. Um, nice one. That's nice of you all to pop in like that, especially after a marathon 2 hour session. Who do you guys think of? What do you guys think of Real Seeds UK? Are there any alternatives? As I still have to buy seeds for this year. Ahmed, I always use a couple of companies. One's called Premier Seeds Direct, and one's called CK Horticulture. I always buy from them. They're always very reliable, quick delivery, good selection on the seeds as well, and they're really competitively priced. So yeah, took me 6 years to get to 5k subs. If I can grow my channel, anyone can. It snowballs as you grow. See, Tony, do you know that? I'm just thinking, do you know, if I didn't have that one video that took off, I don't know where I'd be, you know. So Nick, that's all it takes, you know. It's just one video that'll give you that breakthrough. That composting video of mine, that's the one that did it for me, and it sort of took me from being unnoticed to actually, yeah. So to people actually taking me seriously. So hopefully this January video of yours will get you there. It'll get you some real good airtime, and I'm really pleased that it's doing well. Um, Munib Iqbal, Assalamu alaikum. Plants of distinction do a good heirloom variety of seeds. Um, okay, I've not heard of them before. Ashley's Allotment Diary, thank you very much for coming in. We've got 42 people, 38 likes. Guys, if you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like. It does help with my channel averages, so do hit that like for me. I feel seeds are good value. Never had an issue with them. I find real seeds are good value. I've never bought from them. What they like with the service and everything. Um, let's see what's happened. Da, 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 da. So Icebank Mice Elf, heard you've been causing trouble. What's he been causing trouble? He's not been doing another Dean, has he? There's a lot of deleted messages going on here. What's going on here? So guys, behave. This is a family channel, so let's be a little bit nice. My mods are all over it if anyone's out of order, so just play nicely. Ahmed, I think you meant real seeds, not field seeds. Um, Mike, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. You can't get rid of slugs. Mike, there's a few ways of trying to control slugs. I mean, nematodes are good. Introducing wildlife that's going to eat the slugs, that's always a really good one. So if you bring in things like frogs are absolutely fantastic. Blackbirds do a really good job as well. But if you're going to bring in birds, you also bring in the other birds that'll eat your plants as well, like pigeons. Um, so where am I in the chat? I think I'm getting to the bottom. I think I'm catching up a little bit. Used Wix compost once before, Frank, and I wasn't impressed with the quality. I haven't tried it since. See, um, I've uh, I've used Wix before. I like B&Q's. Do you know? I like B&Q's big bulk one. Do you know the what? I think it's a 120 litre bag. I thought that's always done all right. B&Q ordering has been a nightmare. Try not to buy from them, even though they're the only place in town. What's happened with B&Q? What is Nick's YouTube, please? Lynn, it's Nick's Allotment Diary. Absolutely cracking bloke. Really nice guy. Lots of good information. Lots of really good stuff on there. My family calls you Muslim Monty Don. Oh, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I need that as a tagline. Do you know what? That'll be brilliant as a tagline. Actually, I like that. I really like that. That is quality. Um, let's see where we are. Dean has been a bit quiet. Has he gone on, or is he planning his next way of getting me? Nick, not a problem at all, man. You deserve it. You really do. What do you use for a substitute for blood meal? Um, what I use, I mean, there's a few things that you can use. Do you know if you are you vegetarian? First question is, are you vegetarian or not? Because if you're vegetarian, then I'll suggest some alternatives from you know that don't involve animal products. But if you're not vegetarian, then we can get into some of those options as well. Um, there you go. Lynn, he's Nick's in the chat. Muslim Monty Don. It's absolutely brilliant. He's planning. He's got. You haven't got me today though. You haven't got me today, man. You got me last time, not today. uh, there's a movie where they compost 400 pigs in 3 weeks, completely gone. Henrik, was that was it Joe Slatin or something like that, Salatin or something like that? Um, an American guy, because he was composting whole cows with wood chips. Absolutely amazing what he's doing over there. Poundland is great when you can get things, but only stay in the shop for 2 minutes. Uh, do you know what else is good? There's a couple of shops. Do you know if you ever get down to your local markets, um, our city centre market, there's a couple of plant shops in there that's normally quite good, but I don't know if they'll be open. I've not been since last year. I don't think. Um, Rosalom and Karen, they were 851 each, but I wanted them for something in particular. That's why I ordered 12. Uh, what's happened with your order, Tony? I didn't quite catch that. So Chris Knight, Hugh Mass, and Ice Bank are doing a collab together. That'll be interesting. Um, Henrik, the caffeine is all what you drink. Yeah, but even after you brew coffee, there's still caffeine in the remaining coffee grounds. So there's still a good amount of caffeine in that. Uh, so I think I've caught up with the chat. That's a no. That's a nice turnout for the books, isn't it? Um, so I've emailed them with PayPal transaction number, and they said unless they have order number, they won't refund or deliver the products. So I've had to get the banking involved. See, PayPal normally, do you know, if you even with PayPal, they're normally better at recovering your money and faster than the banks. Can you market's now only open for essential shopping, so it depends on what the store sells. See, Nick, they probably won't be open then because they're just plant markets. Uh, but the system crashed and there's no order. Ah, no way. Hugh Jazz, my name's Hugh. My name's not Hugh Mass. It's Hugh. Have I been calling you Hugh Mass all this time? Uh, I'm sorry about that. I just yeah, sorry. I've got a tendency of mangling people's names. I apologise for that. I have a real problem still trying to find a solution. I have black fly and white fly infestation in my garden. Any suggestions on what could and what plants I could grow to deter pests? See, black fly. I mean, in the garden, I did really well last year with interplanting lots of coriander, fenugreek, um, garlic. Do you know, like sort of late springish? Loads of people will complain about black fly on the broad beans, and my broad beans were planted right in the middle of my garlic patch, and around them I had loads and loads of coriander, and my plants were doing absolutely fine. Um, so yeah, PayPal wants to allow 28 days to see if they deliver, but but they already told me they won't. Okay. See, PayPal's. Do you know when you buy from eBay, PayPal normally it's really good because they refund your money in a couple of days. If you have some sort of fallout with them, but that's 28 days. That's a bit shocking. Huge as when's the light build? So what's going on here? So Hugh, Chris Knight, are these guys already? What is going on here? I think there's a little funny game here amongst these guys. No, it's Leslie. I'm lucky. I have 4 tons of compost in the bin, but needed it for the video for my spuds. I think someone's playing a little. What's going on? um. See, there's something going on here. What? What is going on? Someone let me in. Am I being trolled by everyone? Um, is there anyone else not cottoned on? I haven't cottoned on. So if you're gonna tell me what's going on, then why is everyone why is everyone laughing? I spank myself. I don't get it. You jazz. Oh, got huge. Oh no, yeah. Oh no. Oh, and naughty, naughty, naughty. We're growing ginger from your video. Let's try and get back. Let's try and get back. We need to keep it in the dark. At the moment, it's in a propagator under lights. I think this may be wrong. Lynn, if you as long as it's heat, dark, light or dark, it's not going to make a difference. It's going to be fine. I just use my boiler room because that's well, I used to just use my boiler room because that's where I had my heat source. But light or dark's not going to make a big difference. Okay, 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 okay. So we've got. Oh, it's okay. Oh no. So how many? How? Oh no. Yeah, just drink the. Oh no. 49 minutes. Mohit, thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Pam, you missed half the chat. I think Dean's just thrown me off completely. They did this to me last week, and they got me today. So how many? So have you come in with these accounts then, Dean? Is that what you've done? Uh, how how long does it take to germinate aubergines? Um, check out a video that I did on planting chilies. It's called Chilies with My Tea. I did a video with that where I soak my aubergine seeds overnight in some in wheat tea, and within a couple of days I've got plants sprouting. So check that video out and have a look at that. Um, yeah, that should help. It should, if you use a heat source, it can take a few days. If you're not growing without heat or you're trying to use radiators or anything like that, then it can take a little bit longer. Mohit, so you're from India. Glad you're joining us. So you're a few hours ahead of us. What time is it over there at the moment? It's got to be quite early in the morning. Nursing background taught me all I needed to know. Simplify garden. Now it's insurance risk assessment. what's so I was coming over anyway, but Dean told us he was up to something over on the previous chat just before this. He's naughty, innit? He's proper naughty. So the thing is, Hugh's been in here before, man. I'm sure he has. um, I'm, I'm not saying that one again, Nick. I realised what I'd missed. So they're all the same guy. I'm sure Hugh's been here before. I've seen comments from that guy. I'm sure I have. I'm sure I've seen. I recognise that face, man. um, Christina, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Just thought I'd pop in. Just got in from work. Um, how have you been coping with the roads at the moment? Uh, are they nice? Are they okay to drive on? So being lol, I'm not gonna say that one again. You really like my beard. I've got a nice brush here as well. So just make sure I'm grooming myself properly. Who hasn't been here before? I created it. I thought. See, I saw that. I saw his little picture, and I thought, I'm sure I've seen that guy before. But so Dean's Dean's found his new trick on trolling me. That's absolutely quality. Okay. Oh no. Oh. So DJ Hawkins, I thought this was a gardening chat. DJ, it's normally is a gardening chat until these guys start playing practical jokes on me and completely throw me off my plot. Um, how are you doing? Hope you're well. So no more trouble from me this evening. I've got my foot. Are you gonna make another video? So is this gonna be an ongoing theme that Dean comes in, catches me out, and then makes a video about it? We haven't had that amount of snow you've had. It's all rain. See, we our garden's still covered in. We've still got quite a bit of snow in the garden. A good layer of ice. I was hoping to get out tomorrow. Well, I need to get out tomorrow. I've been stuck inside all day today. Um, Even if there's nothing else, I might just go and mess about with some compost, with one of my compost piles because I just need to be outside. Especially this time of year, it just being stuck inside all the time it's just too much. It is just too much. Um, my allotment plots are marsh right now. Thinking of growing rice. I see. There's a guy, Andy Williams. He's actually growing rice in Scotland. So he's on a nice big plot up there, and one of his plots gets a lot of heavy water. So what he's done is he's built a pond, and just the side of that is put like a bog area in, and he is growing rice out there. So I'm well impressed. Let's see, what else have I missed? The photo is a popular meme, so you probably I thought I'd seen that picture from somewhere. Um, See, DJ, it normally goes on track for about the first 10-15 minutes, and then Dean just then yeah, either the kids take over or Dean takes over. You should have been up here instead. Next time we get onto Dean's chat and see what we can do to him. Um, let's see. Oh no. I came for the gardening, staying for Dean. Oh, be a great name. See, there was a troll that I used to get, and he had about 50 channel names, and he just, he'd come in, he'd say something, we'd block him, and then he'd come in straight after as, with the same channel name but number two at the end, and he'd just say silly things, uh, and he trolled me for a while, and I think he at the end of it, he's just got bored and left me alone now. But we've blocked a lot of his channels. I've got a lot of his channels blocked in my channel list. Um, so popping in today. No idea was my headphones. Uh, Lynn's your headphones not working. Can you not? Are you not getting any sound? Is that what it is? Um, Karen's in Kent. It's bad this time of year, but drains well come spring. So rice isn't really feasible. We're growing wheat through. Though speaking of grains, you see, Karen, what you're saying there, right? There was a guy in Japan, Masanobu Fukuoka, and he left, growing the rice in the paddy fields, and he started growing rice without the heavy need for the water. So he grew in a heavy mulch of hay, and started off using some chicken manure or some animal manure, and he grew rice. He was one of the, he was probably the pioneer of Nordic gardening. So he probably introduced Nordic gardening to the world. So if you check out what Masanobu Fukuoka did with his one straw revolution, absolutely amazing what he did. Um, Troll tube. So Mohit, you take care. We'll see you soon. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Daniel, thank you very much for coming in. This was my first year growing. Welcome to the club. I hope you enjoy it. What you're looking forward to growing? What do you fancy growing? What do you like to eat? Um, no idea how you grow rice, but I have a feeling that it doesn't actually need to be underwater, but it's more efficient to grow it that way. See, what Masanobu Fukuoka did was, because when you grow rice underwater, it creates a lot of methane, and it's quite bad for the planet. I mean, he moved rice growing away from that sort of method. It's absolutely phenomenal, the work that he did. I mean, I'm talking about in the 1930s. Some videos about compost are so pro that it's not a nice and normal person with a little mistakes. That's what people like, as it's on the same level. Um, Sorry, Hendrik, I didn't catch. I didn't get what you're saying. Bloody hell, Monty! Don't tell Charles that. Nick, do you know what? I was in a permaculture group not so long ago. Well, I got kicked out about 2 weeks ago. Sorry, it wasn't Nick who said it. It was Tony, wasn't it? I got kicked out about 2 weeks ago because I started talking about the origins of no dig and where it actually came from, and lo and behold, one of yeah, one of that group was there, kicked off, and then quite a lot of the fans of that little group came in, kicked off. They got really aggressive, and I ended up getting kicked out of that group because I was talking about the origins of Nordic gardening, and I mean, one of the first people to write about it was Masanobu Fukuoka in the 1930s, and before that there were a lot of people. Uh, Before that, it's been practiced. I mean, if you go into the Amazon, a lot of the farmers over in the Amazon, they've been practicing Nordic gardening. A lot of the ancient peoples, they've been practicing Nordic gardening. So it has a rich history that people are bringing back, revamping. and some people are branding it as though they've done it themselves, and they forget the history. We a lot of the time we're standing on the shoulders of giants, and me, well, the way I see it is that you've got to acknowledge that. Fascinating what the Japanese guy. I see Masanobu Fukuoka, absolutely phenomenal name. One of the leading lights in any sort of organic gardening, any sort of permaculture kind of thing. But people don't know his name. Um, so we help Nick a little. Don't worry, 8,000 hours is nothing. Henrik, if you've got a spare computer going, run a few of his playlists. I mean, that's what I do for a few people. Just leave the playlist playing. And yeah, Charles is lovely. His missus runs a cult. See, that's where the Karen. That's where the trouble came from. That's where a lot of the trouble came from. Yeah, the proper got on my back. Um, some of them got quite abusive. Um, some of them got really abusive. Um, but but I got kicked out anyway. You're a troublemaker, and Tony, I'm not a troublemaker, man. I do bite though. That is one of my problems. I do bite, and that's what Dean's been doing to me. He's a trouble. I can tell by the way he says love. See, I was gonna say something, but remember this is a child-friendly chat. Um, that's a shame, mate. Bet your knowledge is gonna be best shared elsewhere than that group. I mean, we've got our own gardening group. So my family garden, hashtag Team Spanner. So if anyone wants to go on and join us on Facebook, then that's a nice group for you to join in. Tony's got a nice group as well, Simplify Gardening, another good group to go and join in. But yeah, so I mean, our group is only small. It's very cozy though. Uh, a nice place to hang out, I think. Chris Knight, when I get a plot, I'll give No Dig a go, but need to build up a large supply of compost to start. Um, Chris, are you a real person or are you one of are you one of Dean's creations? Are you winding me up? You don't. See, Dean's got me on paras now. He's proper got me on paras. I'm like, what's going on? But you don't need a load of compost to start. That's the thing. Do you know, like uh, there's ways of. This is what I have disagreements with that little clique about quite a lot. You don't need a lot of compost to start. You don't need any. I mean, I use a lot of wood chips. You can easily use. So you can use cardboard and straw, use cardboard and wood chips, cardboard and leaves, cardboard and use any organic matter that you can get hold of. So if you get loads of veg scraps, coffee grounds and that sort of stuff, just lay it over where you're going to plant on. Stick some cardboard over the top, and then make planting holes and only use compost in the holes that you're going to plant into. So you don't need loads of compost, and that's the thing that I disagree with that little group about, and that's the thing that they don't like about me either. Because look, I started gardening when I had um, when I couldn't afford to buy compost, and I'm not ashamed of talking about that. It wasn't that long ago that I didn't have the money to buy a bag of compost. I didn't have I was struggling to buy a packet of seeds, and so we grew with whatever we could. So don't let compost put you off, or the lack of compost put you off, and try and just use a little, use it as sparingly as possible. So you can do no dig without compost. I mean, wood chips are fantastic to get hold of because it's a byproduct of tree surgeons. They're chopping trees down, they're grinding the wood chips up, and then they have to pay to dump it. so you can get loads and loads of wood chips delivered to your door for free. The only thing is, it's going to be a truckload, so you're going to have to store it, or you're going to have to do something with it. But yeah, uh, if you want to see some of the ways that I use wood chips, I mean, have a look at my wood chips grown in. I was going to say wood chips grown in potatoes, but my potatoes grown in wood chips. All I do is, I've got my no dig beds. What I'll do is I'll pile a foot high of wood chips on top of them, and then I'll plant my wood potatoes into that, and then I don't have to water it all year. I don't have to feed it all year. Just forget about it. Plant and forget. The rain will feed it. The rain will water it. A year, when the plants start dying back, come in, harvest your potatoes, and we're getting some really good results from it. So have a look at that, because there are ways of doing no dig without having to use a lot of compost. I did no dig potatoes for the first time last year. Made a video about it. I'll never dig potatoes again. See, you don't need to. Um, I mean, there's a couple of beds where no matter. I mean, I did plant potatoes the traditional way, probably 7 or 8 years ago, and they always grow. I'm always getting stray potatoes just popping up in that plant, in that bed. Um, it's lonely down here. It's lonely down here. Um, what's going on? Sam's allotment diary. Sam, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. What sites this I fancy putting on a post? Dean, is called Permaculture UK official. Uh, Remember the official part. But both permaculture groups have actually so Permaculture UK and Permaculture UK official now have both kicked me out. So, but the other one kicked me out a year ago, and that was for different reasons. I'll have to tell you why on that one. But privately, not while I'm live. Where is it? It's a toxic group. Which one, Karen, are you talking about? Which one's the toxic one? Um, I don't do no dig. My hubby likes digging. See, do you know what? If I didn't play with compost as much, like I like just prattling about with compost. So I'll just go and, if I've got nothing to do, I'll go and sift some compost. I enjoy it. So when you're saying your husband likes digging, I completely get that. It completely makes sense to me, because loads of people complain about turning compost and it's hard work and stuff like that. I like getting in there. I like getting my hands dirty. I like getting in there and seeing all the stuff breaking down, and seeing if I tweak this, is it going to break down nicer? What's going to work better? I like that sort of stuff. It's proper nice. So I completely get that your husband likes doing the digging. Where are we going? So definitely behind. Been here for 10 minutes. Sam, I'm always behind, man. I'm always behind. You know that. Sarah, can't wait to get back into the garden. Sarah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm stuck in an office all week, so regardless of what's happening on the weekend, I'm making sure at least I'm out there for a few hours. Today I didn't get out there for long, but tomorrow I'm planning on being out from early morning, and I'm just gonna just play with compost. um, Michael Hayes, I'm in West Kent in the sticks. You this way too? Dave's allotment garden. Dave, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well, mate. How's everything up north? Who else is coming? John, what is John saying? Great to have an accessible expert. We have a real problem with slugs. Do slugs hide under wood chip and other mulches? Our cabbages and beans were decimated. Any tips? See, cabbages won't do good in wood chips, because cabbages, they don't react well to fungal kind of soils. So cabbages, cauliflowers, broccolis, those kind of brassicas will struggle in anything with wood chips in it, because of the fungal domination of the soil. So that they're not good on that side of things. So you do want a very bacterial, high pH soil for them. I've not slugs and wood chips. I think that's got to a point where it's a garden myth. I don't think it's something that happens. It's I, I've not noticed an additional slug problem since I started using wood chips. Since I had not used wood chips, if that makes sense. Come on, Mister. Come on, say hello.
Hello.
You've got a mouthful of food. What's going on with you?
Hello, Frank.
Hello, Frank. He's coming, and that's the first thing he says. But yeah, I don't think wood chips will cause you an additional slug problem, other than the one you've already got. So I think, if you increase your wildlife habitat, so try and encourage frogs and toads into the garden. If you can encourage blackbirds into the garden, they'll help you with your slug control. Nematodes. Tony from Simplified Gardening's done some brilliant videos on nematodes. I've got a couple of videos on using nematodes. They're really good as well. So I'm good, mate. I hope you're well. Been cold and wintry here. See, we've just got ice on the ground at the moment. Still got the snow from a couple of days ago covering the ground. Leave him for a few minutes. It'll be all right. We're gonna sign off very soon. Sorry, but my provider is so bad I can't see the stream. Henrik, hopefully you might be able to catch it on the replay. Then I'll apologise for that if it's not working properly. Come on, man. Look, everyone's saying hello to you. Look, first thing he says was hello, Frank. So, you've got a mouthful of food. Swallow what's in your mouth before you talk. Don't you cover your mouth, man. See, Rose Karen saying hello. Frank saying hello. Tony saying hello to you. Dean saying hello to you.
Dean?
It's Frank every time.
Dean?
Where's Dean? He's there.
Where?
He's there. Look, there's Dean. Chris is saying hello to you. You're famous, man. Stop showing your food on. Stop it. Oh no. So just say what's going on. See, everyone's saying hello to you. Exactly, Tony. He's having his dinner, and he's decided to show the world what he's eating.
Rice.
You're eating rice. Cool. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in.
What's cool?
So we're getting.
What's cool?
There. So okay, just sit still, man. Right. So you're stuck. All right, I'm shifting you forward. There you go. More methane in the sky. It's all your fault.
Thinking going forward.
What's going forward? So Dave got him with Hugh Mass and oh no, you did get me. But right, okay.
I won't go
Where? So right, guys. MashaAllah. So this one, it does just take over. It just does take over and yeah. Just added a thick layer of fresh horse manure to where I'm gonna grow brassicas. Will it be too strong? Still in me, or should I rake it and add it to a compost pile? See.
This is my talkie.
Ah.
It's my talkie.
See.
Well, it's the only talkie, so you can have it.
Right.
Talkie skate. Stop. Talkie skate. Talkie skate. Talkie skate.
Dean, help on that brassica question with the manure.
Dean,
Tony, help on that brassica question with the manure, guys. Oi. Right, on that note, Ismail Karoli, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. On that note, I'm going to end it. We've been going on for just... What? Right, go on, do what you need to do.
Question.
Right, it's going haywire now, so I'm going to call it a day. Time for me to end it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.